this documentary.
It's insane.
It is about the 7M Management Group. So they are a group of influencers, dancers in the LA area who were allegedly a part of a cult. Yup, it's TMZ Verified the podcast. I'm Wyld.
I'm Steph.
Hello, Steph.
Hi, how are you?
I feel like our energy's on the ground today.
It's on the floor.
I go, everybody get up. Oh,
Wyld does this thing where he stands up in the middle of the newsroom and goes, everyone.
I got an announcement. People need to live a little.
On Fridays, you just turn up the music.
Turn up the music.
Yeah.
Well, what up, y'all? Happy June.
Happy June.
Summer's here.
Is your body ready? That's what
Summer is going to get whatever body I give it this year.
Wyld goes around and body checks.
Okay. I go, are you ready for summer?
Yeah.
Y'all remember that thing that went viral a couple years ago? That girl being like, this is my summer body. This is my summer body. You get what you get. Nothing else. My body is whatever body I got when the summertime comes.
That's what I think. There we go. Okay.
There is. Let's get into some stories.
Speaking of being skinny.
Okay. Where you going with this?
Fans of fitness influencers exercise more?
Yeah. So there's this report that came out. And as we're talking about getting in shape for the summer, a report suggests that people that are fans of fitness influencers are more fit, but they're also more depressed. Honestly,
Obviously.
Retweet.
Yeah, I feel like that's 2 + 2 = 4.
So we're going to tell you all about that. There is also this documentary.
It's insane.
There's a documentary on Netflix. It's called Dancing for the Devil. It is about the 7M Management Group. So they are a group of influencers, dancers in the LA area who were allegedly a part of a cult.
A cult?
The documentary is crazy, but the star of the documentary has come out and is like,
spoke her truth.
Her truth. And we say truth?
In quotes.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't believe it.
Because everybody,
we'll discuss.
There's one truth, there's another truth, and then there's the actual truth. Sad update today. FouseyTube. We had Fousey on. Fousey was actually our first interview when we relaunched season 2.
Season 2. Mm-hmm.
TMZ Verified. Fousey has come out, and he's just kind of giving us an update. Y'all know Fousey kind of had like a weird, I don't want to say a weird, he had a tough time last year. Just he got into a few different controversial instances on his streams. Then he took a break. At one point, we didn't know whether he was in police custody or whether he was in a mental hospital. He's now come out, giving us a little bit of an update on his health and how he's doing right now, but it's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Very sad. And lastly, y'all know we do it every week.
Gypsy Rose update.
There's nowhere else in the podcast world to get your weekly Gypsy Rose updates. It's here. TMZ Verified.
So?
We got y'all. I think we are the only podcast in the world that every single week we have a Gypsy Rose update.
Okay.
All right. Let's start at the top though. There is a Netflix documentary. It's called Dancing for the Devil. And, a lot of times we see cult documentaries, but they almost seem so misplaced from where we are in current time.
That's true.
It seems that's a cult, but it's almost too
that
crazy
was a
to
long
be
time
true.
ago. Yeah.
Right. That happened in the 90s.
Like a recap. Yeah.
Right. This allegedly all went down over the course of the last few years. So Dancing for the Devil, it details these allegations from, I guess we can say, former 7M members, as well as the woman. There's the star, or I don't want to say the star, but the main subject of the documentary is a super popular dancer online. Her name is Miranda Derrick. Miranda's sister is the person who's speaking out in the documentary. So it's largely based on Miranda Derrick's family and her relationship with them, but then there are other 7M members who are speaking out, being no, this shit is culty.
Right.
So like I said, Miranda's family speaks out. There are other dancers in the documentary. And according to Miranda's family and the other dancers, this was a full-fledged cult, y'all. It wasn't we're just a group of entertainers who kind of create content together. The people are alleging that they were in a cult, that the man, the founder of the cult, his name is John. John was stealing their money, having them perform on TikToks and do all these partnerships and then stealing the money and telling them you got to donate your money to the church. All the allegations, these are all allegations. And there were rumors of people being excommunicated from their family or being forced to excommunicate from their family. So Miranda's family was we haven't talked to Miranda in months. I know that's a lot of information. Long story short, Miranda has come out and has responded to the documentary, and here's what she said.
Hey guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I just wanted to hop on here really quick and first of all say thank you so much to everybody who's been so supportive during this time. In the next couple slides, I've included my statement of this documentary that's just been released. I can't go into too much detail because of legal purposes, but I just wanted to add my side of the story a little bit. Thank you so much for taking a read. Have a great day. Bye.
All right, so I know what you're thinking. What was Miranda's side of the story? She basically just reiterated the same things that her family reiterated in the documentary. She goes on to say, in 2020, I went to Michigan to visit my family. My papa was sick. There were some medical issues. He ultimately passed away. She goes on to say she chose not to come home for the funeral. Bam, we already knew that because that was in the documentary. She also talks about fast forward to a month later. Her relationship began to get strained with her family. We already knew that, girl. That's in the documentary. I would also like to point out that she starts her little slideshow of notes by saying, hey, everyone, I just want to hop on here. But if you notice in the video, she started the exact same way. Hey, everyone, I want to hop on here. So it's given scriptation.
And just so we're clear, anytime someone comes clean on TikTok or clears up some drama, they always start it with, no big deal, guys. I'm here to clear up some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is a huge deal.
You know what else I hate when people say?
What?
I can't really give you too much detail because of legal purposes.
Okay.
Girl.
Guilty. You know what I mean?
Because y'all are not suing Netflix. Best believe Netflix
Right.
cross and check their T's or dotted their I's or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's no legal proceeding that is currently happening. We would know about it. We work at TMZ. She ain't suing Netflix. There's no legal reason why she can't open up and say this did or did not happen.
Right.
All she's doing is kind of reiterating the things that we already know and kind of giving her reasoning for them, but that doesn't answer the questions of are you or are you not in a cult?
She's making it seem based off of her statement in this video that she was not in a cult.
And then she's basically saying that like this was like, I'll read you her exact quote. Quote, this documentary has created a further challenge between us, her and her family, as I work to overcome this public attack. No one likes to be portrayed as their brainwashed / not in control of their own life / a shell of herself / human trafficked daughter / sister when that just isn't the truth. Okay, well, come outside, Miranda. Miranda, this is an open invitation right now for you to come on TMZ Verified.
Perfect. Speak your truth.
Speak your truth. There's no...
She's making it clear, though, in the statement, like that she does not feel like she was a part of a cult, that she feels like this is all blown out of proportion, that she has no hard feelings towards the man that's in charge of this cult.
Mm-hmm. But
that's
honestly,
not what the documentary is leading to.
I mean, we obviously can't say for certain because we don't know, but these all sound like things that somebody in a cult would say.
Exactly.
It's not like people in a cult be like, guess what? I'm in a cult.
Actually, guys, you know what? I thought I'd pop on here and be like,
Y'all right. I'm in a
You're
cult.
right.
Like, no, nobody be saying that. So we'll have to see where this goes. Her sister Melanie's like married now, still influencing, still dancing, but not in 7M.
All these cults, too, it's like you always think, like, how would I ever be in a cult like that? Okay. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like, how do people get brainwashed? But as you watch these documentaries and they break it down, it's like, holy shit.
It does kind of lay it out for you.
Yeah.
They still ain't getting me, though.
No, me either.
Not like, y'all got to come to my house and drag me out. Like,
that's the problem.
I need money. I like to go outside.
We never shut up that we went to college.
I
need to use my degree.
Exactly. You think I went to college and spent all this goddamn money to be stuck in the house doing TikTok dances? We haven't actually heard from John, who is the owner creator of 7M, but I like to talk to John too. Mm-hmm. I like to talk to Miranda. You know who else I like to talk to? Melanie. Melanie, where you at?
She's gonna tell the truth.
Yeah, I was about to say Melanie's the sister that was in the documentary that was talking about her sister Miranda that was allegedly in a cult. I would like to hear from Melanie to get an update. Mm-hmm. Where Miranda at? Well, we know where she at. Making these videos. Let's move on.
That'll be an interesting one to watch.
Yeah, that'll be
how it's gonna unfold.
I know. I wonder if they'll do like a Dancing for the Devil part 2. They should. That'd be kind of cool.
No, you should. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to some sadder news. FouseyTube. We love FouseyTube here.
We do.
Like, problematic as fuck? Yes. Should have never said the N-word? Clearly. You know what I'm saying? Like, largely inappropriate. Actually, the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, why do we like FouseyTube?
When he left here, he was like, she was hitting on me. I was like, I was interviewing him.
He literally left it. Yeah, he went on his live stream and was like, yeah, that girl, she was hitting on. Were you hitting on him?
I was working.
All right. Well, that was during a tumultuous time in his life that he has since opened up about. So FouseyTube, he gave like a brutally honest update on his mental health almost a year after we had him on our show, after he went on like a series of just like strange rants and things like that.
Yeah, and remember, during this time, he was going live 24/7. Even when he came here to TMZ, he had to put his like live stream like looking at like a wall or something.
Yeah,
like
we didn't let him stream.
He truly did not stop live streaming, and that, you know, the mental health stuff happened, and it was downhill from there.
And it was sad because it all played out. Like we
Right.
all got to watch it. I mean, from like him appearing to go through episodes to the police coming at one point on the
Right.
live stream. Like he had a rough year. So Fousey has since come out in a lengthy post on Twitter, formerly, or I guess X, formerly known as Twitter. Fousey said, basically, he admitted that he still feels kind of like, quote, trapped in my own mind, suffocating and battling suicidal thoughts. He goes on to say that there was a point, during his rough time mentally that he even considered suicide. And that he really kind of needed to take a break. And like, I respect that.
Yeah. And if you didn't listen to our episode, guys, basically he was saying that he felt so like proud of himself. Like this was really his niche, like the live stream thing. And he is phenomenal at it. I know
Super
I could
talented.
never.
Yeah.
I know you could never
Damn
go
well.
live 24/7. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But he really thought this was like his niche. And I don't know if that contributed to the mental health. He's making it seem like it did.
Right.
And if that's the case, imagine you find your like, this is my thing, my passion.
And then,
like you said in our interview, and then it makes your mental health bad, which imagine going live 24/7. That's gonna
has to be extraneous. So Fousey went on to say basically that like he was hiding behind this like ego and persona that he created with this FouseyTube person. And now he's basically just trying to pull away. But he also does give some like tips for people who might be going through some things. He said, if I can get through this challenge, I can devote my life and purpose to helping people who go through the same struggles. So it seems like he at least is
aware,
focused and trying to kind of get to a better place, even though he admits that he's not fully there yet. And I like this. I respect this, man, because let me tell y'all, I'm the saddest person in the world. I'll tell everybody that. I'm sad all the time. I'm always happy, but deep down inside, I'm crying.
Also, like when you're sad, it's one thing to like just be sad and like be by yourself. To give advice like this publicly is pretty cool.
It is really cool. So shout out to FouseyTube.
Wish you luck.
We don't know where he is. I think the last time,
only.
Good vibes only. Last time we saw him stream was like November 2023.
Yep.
He had like a deal with Kick, and that kind of quickly turned sour as well. So FouseyTube again. Another open
You'll
invitation,
find another
bruh.
niche, or you'll go back to the live streaming and kill it.
But if you want to come back and talk to us, bruh,
Feel
we love
free.
you. We do love you. Shout out to FouseyTube. We hope everything's good. There is a study that came out, a study in the Cyber Psychology Journal. So this is a scientific journal.
You love to.
I don't even look, y'all. I can't speak to the validity of this. I'm just telling y'all what the source is. So the new study found that young adults who follow fitness influencers, so like people who work out and post their workout videos, gym life, gym tan laundry.
You know who that is? Wyld.
It is me. It is me. Y'all can't tell I'm wearing the baggy shirt,
Continue.
but I am ripped.
You post every single day. I'm
every day. Oh my God. This applies to me too.
I know.
The study says that people who are in the fitness influencers are obviously more fit themselves, so they're in better shape, but they also tend to be more depressed.
So true.
You go, duh.
Yeah, like in our little pod in the office, we all say what we ate in a day, including Branson over here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really toxic.
Yeah, it is actually pretty bad.
Like no one's enjoying the Randy's donuts that they're bringing into the office today.
But do we eat the donuts?
Some of us do.
Yes. The study that was conducted in 2021, it involved like a little over 1,000 young adults aged just 18 to 35 from New Zealand, the US, and the UK. So they kind of got a little bit of a sample from everywhere to kind of make sure that they were doing the right thing here. And it just found that people who like follow influencers and who kind of are in that space, even though they look better, they might have a better aesthetic. The body might be on fleek, but the mind is weak.
Right.
Oop.
And this says like fitness influencers may promote orthorexia and poor body image by encouraging these compulsive exercises and obsessions with pure diets. That's talking like I only eat whole foods. I only
Yeah.
do keto. I only go vegan. Like making it really strict in particular. And orthorexia is like when you specifically have to jot down exactly what you're eating and become obsessive with it.
Okay. I did not know that.
I've had it before.
I was just going to skip over that because I didn't know what that meant, but okay.
But this is like really real because these fitness influencers, you want to be like them.
Right. No, it
And
does.
so
It creates that thing of like, I got to be this fit.
I have to
gotta
eat this.
Mhm.
I need to work out this many times a day.
Yeah.
And again, I might not be perfect on my explanation, but it's basically obsessing over what you're doing for your body.
Right. Is there anything that you feel like is bad for you personally, like on social media? Like if you're like, even
Well,
though I
I'm
like
like
it.
the opposite. Like I feel like I do need the influence of like people working out to get me to work out.
Same.
The issue is like I could be genuinely 1 pound and I'd be like, I'm fat.
Bruh.
That's what they're talking about.
Yeah,
This
no,
is
that's-
what they're talking about.
I have
Because-
genuine body image issues, so you're right.
Because they also say if you're an influencer, this is no shade.
Mhm.
This is like a scientific fact in terms of you can Google it.
Yeah.
If you're an
Scientific facts.
if you're an influencer, there's got to be a little bit of like I love myself vibes.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
the people that are watching the I love myself person influencer don't have that.
Don't love them.
That's the issue. That's what they're talking about. In case we needed a little context.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that probably the fitness thing is the thing that makes me a little sad. Cause like I'll go to the gym and then I'll feel great. But then like I'll go home and I'll see a fitness influencer and I'm like, God damn, like why my abs don't look like that? Or like why my arms don't look like that? Or I will not go to the gym and then I go home and I see an influencer and I'm like, this is exactly why I'm fucking fat now. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I start tearing myself down because
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I not at the gym? Why am I not working out? Like, and then I just get sad and depressed because I chose to go home and relax as opposed to like working out. And it makes you crazy. Oh my God, I sound
Yeah.
crazy talking about it right now.
It's funny that they highlight orthorexia too, because that's kind of like when you wake up in the morning, you go, I can only eat this, this, and this today.
Yeah.
Or this, and this Monday through like Thursday. Then
Right.
Friday I can eat whatever. Like that, you know. And then if these people on TikTok, and they are,
Mhm.
doing what I eat in a day,
Right.
you see those on Instagram and
time.
like TikTok, and it's influential for sure, but it's different if you're influencing someone to buy a purse and then like influencing them to like not eat as much.
Yeah, and change their entire
Especially when they
lifestyle.
look like amazing.
Right, true. All right, this is a quickie. DDG is fighting. That's the strangest celebrity boxing match. DDG and YK Osiris are set to fight in a boxing match, and I really don't understand why the hell Holly Bailey is with DDG. Every single time we talk about DDG, he doing something else embarrassing. What?
I was hoping you were going to highlight on this part. Here's why.
Go.
Because this girl has really taken the heat for dating this man, being with this man.
And like what? Why? DDG. You know, but maybe she has accepted like that. That's his thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
what I'm trying to say.
she is a singer who, you know, like performs for large crowds of people and has a very prestigious life. And he is an influencer. And I think that that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not hating. We love it.
Yeah, like clearly they have something, like the public needs to relax with him.
So we
As
need to
long
mind our
as,
business.
here's the important thing. She's mega talented. We all know
talented,
that.
without a
She
doubt.
got an amazing opportunity that she needs to like understand how big of an opportunity that is. And like,
Mhm.
I think she does.
Mhm.
If he doesn't treat her well, I think the public wants her to leave. That's it.
All right.
That's the summary.
All right. So DDG is going to be in a boxing match against YK Osiris. We always, this is why.
But people on no, because it ties in.
Go ahead.
You're wrong, because people are freaking out about this fight because they think it's not good for Halle Bailey.
That's what I just said. Like, why is your man getting into a celebrity
like,
boxing
if-
match with YK Osiris?
But why is it on her?
It's not, but choose better people.
Okay, see, this is like the problem.
I am the
You
crazy
are the
people on
comments,
TikTok.
and I am not.
First of all, don't
If my
you
boyfriend
change
does
your
some-
mind, which is okay, but that's okay, but I haven't.
If your boyfriend does something crazy, my boyfriend does something crazy, that has no effect on. That's his life. Just because I'm dating him doesn't mean every single thing I
No,
co-sign.
you're right. You 100% right.
So
But,
everyone needs to relax, including you.
all right, well, DDG is taking it to the streets, fighting YK Osiris. And
This fight's
YK
not gonna
Osiris,
happen.
you don't think it's going to happen? Well, DDG has officially accepted the fight. He said, like, pull up. And DDG previously fought Nate White in a YouTube versus TikTok boxing event. DDG's ripped. I should probably stop talking so much shit for you pull up on up.
He's gonna.
I ain't worried
you'd
about that.
You'd lose.
Police. Ah!
At least I get to be front row. Like,
So DDG is set to fight YK Osiris in a boxing match. And YK Osiris, he's geared up. He's ready. Here's what he had to say.
You called out DDG. You said, you know, you guys could get in a boxing ring. I gotta ask, bro. He says yes, he'll do it for free. What are you interested in this now?
We talked about it. I told him the money's got to be right. That's all. He already know I'm gonna cheer him up. He know that.
So we're talking soon, like in the next in this quarter.
In the next month and a half.
I agree. I'm not gonna fight this guy unless you pay up.
You know what? You're right. Because I'm not getting out here getting my face busted up.
Right.
For $0.
Yeah, and remember, DDG's got to win because the public hates him.
Has to. I think DDG will win the fight.
That's
like,
what I'm
it's not even a
saying.
question of whether DDG will win the fight.
That's what I'm saying.
Imagine
What do you
if he
think
loses.
about these celebrity fights?
I hate them, actually. I just
You
think
do?
it's like unnecessary. It's gross.
Okay.
It reminds me of like it's almost like Celebrity Boxing Match or Celebrity Death Match from back in the day, which was an animated show, but like in real life. And that was such a lowbrow, like kind of crummy.
Okay.
I would rather you go on Dancing with the Stars.
I hate when people are like go in different lanes. Anyway, that's just a side note.
Yeah.
Like why are you an actor and now you're a fighter?
Yeah, I don't like that either.
No.
We're like
Leave it to
the fighters.
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul literally is in another lane.
No.
He was a
that
TikToker and then he
he
became a fighter.
literally is a real fighter now.
Well, now, but he had to start from being a.
Comment down below if you think Jake Paul's a real fighter.
You
or
literally
not.
just disproved your own point. You said
What do
you
you
don't
mean?
like when people get out of that
Except
lane.
him.
Okay, well then you gotta say
Because
except
he-
him. You
okay,
can't say him.
Because he like has really won. Actually, if you win, you can say in your lane.
You go, depending on how good you are in the new lane.
Then you can go in your new
Then you
lane.
can- all
Yeah.
right,
If you
cool.
lose, back to the drawing board.
So this fight doesn't actually have a date, so we're not
It's
telling
not
you
gonna
this because we're
happen.
bad journalists. There's no actual fight for the date yet, or no date for the fight yet. We'll have to see how this plays out. Steph doesn't think it'll happen.
Do you?
I do think it'll happen, actually.
Okay.
They both could use
Will
the
she
press.
come?
You know she gotta come.
She will.
She gotta come.
Support her, man.
Let's just move on because I'm already moved on from
Okay.
this relationship.
All right.
It's all right, y'all. We do it every week, same time, same place. Steph.
Gypsy Rose update. Gypsy Rose, Gyp. All right, guys. So the update for Gypsy Rose is that back in the day, she was in contact with a blogger.
Mhm.
The blogger's name is,
Her name is. She goes by Francie.
okay,
Francie.
Francie.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, Gypsy at the time, this was in 2017, gave her some medical info. And now they're going to take it to court because she's, how do you say that correctly? Like using it against her?
Yeah. So there's a woman. The woman Gypsy Rose claims her name. The woman's name is April Jones, but her like Hollywood name
It's
is
Francie.
Francie. So Gypsy says that back in 2017, she provided the woman with like documents, different like tidbits about her life because the woman was like, "Look, Gypsy, I can make you a Hollywood star."
Right. It was kind of her representation at the time.
Like her publicist. Yeah.
TMZ even talked to Francie on Gypsy's behalf about this.
Yeah. No. Like
Back
this
in
was
the day.
like Gypsy's almost
Publicist?
You would say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now Gypsy is suing Francie because Gypsy feels like one, she provided Francie with a number of like different like documentations, like information about her medical history, her personal life. However, Gypsy says that Francie ain't never given none of it back. Like she gave her all this information, but Gypsy has since like, I don't want to say, I guess disassociated would be a good word to use here.
Right.
But like Gypsy is no longer in contact with this woman, but now Gypsy is claiming that the woman is basically using the information that Gypsy Rose gave her and is publicizing that information
To profit.
to profit off of Gypsy Rose's
Right.
likeness and
I
story.
think what happened here and what everyone's saying on TikTok, and there's actually a YouTube deep dive about this too, like a bunch of like drama YouTubers are talking about it, that Gypsy obviously was newly in prison and didn't have that many people like support in
Yeah.
terms of like became friends with Francie.
Mhm.
And I think Francie might have used that to her advantage.
Yeah, so in the lawsuit, Gypsy goes on to say that she provided materials to Francie, like medical records, crime scene photos from Dee Dee's murder, which is like, how the hell did Gypsy Rose get her mother's crime scene photos?
I think she was naive at the time. I'm like, what's occurring?
Yeah, but how did Gypsy Rose? Oh, probably in Discovery. You know, in Discovery, and you go to court, blah 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 blah. But Gypsy's claiming that she provided the woman with all these things and the lady was supposed to create some type of Hollywood project for her or put Gypsy in connection with other studios. Gypsy goes on to claim that none of that ever materialized. And after a while, the family cut ties with the lady and they're like, give us back our documentation. Gypsy's claiming that that's when things turned nasty and the woman started like trashing her online, making up false stories and sending them to the press. So Gypsy is basically suing for defamation and also just a dissemination. I don't know if that's the right word. Dissemination? For distributing Gypsy's private medical information.
Right.
There we go.
I think this is totally valid.
I think it is actually pretty valid. And I think it's also, I mean, we have to be careful with our opinions here, but we don't know the details about this situation. But considering that Gypsy was very, young at the time.
And a really, really nice, like a vulnerable spot.
Yeah. And also, like, so you got to think about this was 2017. Gypsy is, what, like 33 now?
Mhm.
So it was a little bit ago. But, like, Gypsy Rose, even in her mid-20s, wasn't like you and I.
Right,
Like,
because literally that's...
she was like a baby. You know what I'm saying?
And the murder happened quite literally in 2015.
Yeah, so it wasn't like, she was still
So new.
so
to this,
mature.
Like, yeah.
Like, her family didn't really know much about the press. I don't even think she thought that this would go from her being
Right.
convicted of this crime to her being like a public figure. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Like, so I could see how Gypsy could have been like, well, this isn't, when she learned, this isn't what I want to do anymore.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how this plays out.
I think she'll win.
I think it'll be interesting to see, but the weird thing is that when you sign documents,
Mhm.
and we don't know what was signed, what was not agreed to, but like, if there was some formal agreement, those things may be legally binding.
The issue, though, is her profiting off it now, making like ad revenue. Like if
But it-
she's using that to make
That-
money.
True, but again, we don't know what the.
We don't know.
Anything else you want to talk about?
There's a video on TMZ's website right now about the Chipotle meltdown fight. I just wanted to talk about it
Okay.
with you specifically because what the actual hell?
Do we know why they were fighting?
No.
Did anybody get arrested?
No.
I would just like to say Chipotle is going outside.
Well, we talked about it last week,
Mm-hmm.
how they're not giving enough portions and then they come out with like,
A fight video.
because Keith Lee called them out.
So you think those girls got?
I think they got paid to like some press.
You think Chipotle?
Don't you?
No.
Yes.
You think Chipotle said, let's
Who-
get these girls in here to fight for internet
Do you know
fame?
how mad I would have to be to go barefoot in
In the
Chipotle,
Chipotle?
let alone fighting?
No, I get what you're saying. I think it was a freaking wild video.
They've gotten a lot of press in the last week.
Chipotle,
And I think they did that so that they would get rid of the other press.
Chipotle is tired of y'all coming in there recording their workers. They tired of y'all dragging them on TikTok. You know what else they tired of?
Taco Bell.
I didn't know where I was going.
I saved it. They
Um,
are rivaling them.
I don't think Chipotle's.
I think they came up with, and you don't have to keep this in, but I think they drafted up this plan to do some viral crazy video so that the viral crazy video, when you type Chipotle, would come up and not their service.
And not the. Wait, that would be some prime ass marketing.
Mhm.
All right, the only other viral story that I want to talk about, then I promise we're getting out of here. Did you see the video of, it's also up on TMZ.com, of a giraffe grabbing a girl, a toddler, out of a car while they were on one of those drive-through animal safaris?
Yes.
Like, the giraffe, if you watch us on YouTube, just search TMZ Verify, you can see the video right now. The giraffe literally reaches his long-ass neck into the sunroof of the car and grips the baby up.
Let me tell you, I went to one of these in Tennessee and they quite literally have you hold their food, okay? I don't know if they have this exact location, but hold the food. And mine was an ostrich. And when I tell you, they go absolutely crazy for the food. So this does not surprise me at all. I was so scared. I was like, how is this a drive-through zoo?
A drop with and then the animals just be reaching in. So this little girl, her name is Paisley. She's only 2 years old. She was just picked
Cute
up.
name.
Such an adorable name. Picked up and dropped. She was riding, but this is you should not ride in the back of a truck bed. I feel like when you go to a drive-through safari,
zoo.
like you need to be able to roll up the windows.
Yeah,
How you riding in the back of the truck bed, top down, country style?
that's some Midwest.
That is some, like, you know what I'm saying? And then they got the giraffe trying to kidnap your baby.
I don't know. It's the truck bed though for me.
It's the truck bed. The
Yeah.
truck bed is really what got it. So we should say, long story short, Paisley is fine. She fell back into her mother's arms after she got picked up out of the air. And her dad basically was like, my heart stopped, my stomach dropped, it scared me, but they're glad that she is okay. Endangered animals, we should say, do roam freely around the facility, but this is kind of a controlled environment. It doesn't seem like it's something that happens often. And
I'm not exactly a fan of the drive-through zoo.
Yeah, me either, honestly. But Paisley's cool.
For sure.
Would you ever let your kids go through a drive-through zoo?
You just asked me that. No.
I would let them do it. You know how kids are always like, I want to do
You're
that.
gonna be the most dismissive father
kids
of all
are like,
time.
I want to do that. I want to do that. And I'm be like, you know what? Fine. Here you go, the ostrich. And then when the ostrich reaching in, grabbing your ass and you crying, don't look at me because I ain't
you're one of
saving
those
you.
parents that wants people to learn their lesson.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to get out of here. Until next week, I'm Wyld.
I'm Steph. Toodaloo.